Well done, Walker. You've done what the storm could not. Destroyed the damn 33rd. Do you feel like a hero yet?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Achievement Hunting 101 Game Club. Today we will go through the 4th week of Spec Ops The Line, which is also our final installment. I'm Wakapeil, and I'm going to be editing the crap out of this thing. Joining me today is
Dinobull, hello.
And Ben L72, hi.
the 13th episode starts with Adams under attack by some boats in the desert. Walker has just walked off some kind of nightmare, but snaps to it and decides to save the day. He gets to Adams, who is under attack by a lot of soldiers, and you have to fight them off before he dies. After you fight off the soldiers, Lugo calls in, letting you know that he is pinned down and that he has broken his arm. Right now, it's like something has taken a dump in the Delta Squad's mouths.
Yeah.
They are really potty-mouthed by now.
When you kill people, you know, there's always a like kill confirm kind of thing, right? Like the dialogue. They're a lot. They curse a lot more.
Just a bit.
There's like fucking kill confirmed. Like I don't know. It's just yeah. It's a lot more intense.
Yeah, and they scream, "Kill them all!" They are not very happy, and they are taking out their aggression on everything they can find. Lugo updates and tells you that he is hiding in a refugee camp. Adams has started questioning your command. He is not happy with where they are right now.
Didn't he say something like, because Walker was like, well, I had no choice to kill them or whatever, but it's like, he didn't like them killing American soldiers, but Walker said left us no choice. Adam believes Walker left them no choice. Is what he said, basically what he said.
Adams is really beat up now. His head is basically held together by duct tape.
And Walker's looking pretty rough as well.
Yeah, they all do. After a fight, you're hit by another sandstorm.
This part sucked.
This part, yeah, it can be really easy or really difficult depending on your tactics. If you just go up onto the boat and hang there and shoot everything that tries to run up the stairs, it's really easy.
Plus, several times I ran up the stairs to the boat and got a rocket grenade to the face, so...
They were charging really fast, man. It still kind of sucked.
There's grenades everywhere, there's rockets. Oh, it was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of grenades being thrown.
There were a lot more explosives than there have been previously.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that on Fubar.
After the sandstorm, you hear Logo getting attacked by the refugees, and you rush over there to help him out.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, you're too late. You find him being hanged by an angry mob.
I may have teared up at this part a little bit, not gonna lie.
You shoot down the rope, and he falls to the ground, but it's too late. He is already dead. Adams is very angry and wants to kill the mob. So this is a part where you might not realize that you have a choice. You can either start firing into the civilian mob,
Yeah.
or you can scare them by firing into the air.
I figured it was, but I was feeling rage, so I killed the mob.
Yeah, I killed the mob too. I'm glad it's not just me. Because afterwards I was like, man, that was kind of fucked up. Like I probably shouldn't have done that, but...
When you do that, you get an achievement telling you that you have crossed the line. If you do not do it, you get an achievement telling you that you have held a line.
That was an intense scene, man.
Yeah, I really was not expecting one of them to die.
Yeah.
After killing the mob or scaring them away, you walk through the camp. The remaining refugees really hate you, and there's a lady that throws a rock at you and then goes hide in a corner. It's really easy to shoot her if you think you're under attack.
Yeah, I managed not to.
Yeah, I didn't shoot her either.
I was feeling some remorse over the mob.
Yeah, it's an intense scene. Walker vows to kill Conrad and the 33rd. after leaving the refugee camp. He somehow equates the death of Lugo comparable to killing the entire 33rd for some reason. I don't think his math checks out there. But he is really upset and he wants everyone dead. You find a fort the 33rd is holding, and you fight your way through it.
Is this the part with the two turrets?
Yeah, that was another rough bit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, and this is gonna show how much I suck at games. But I had to go down to easy on this part.
Ouch.
I was just like, I did not have the patience for a normal. I was just like, it was a lot.
Yeah, this game is not easy on harder difficulties. It's not a problem on easier difficulties at all.
Yeah, I died a few times, but made it through on the suicide I'm on at the moment. But yeah, it was not an easy fight.
I bet.
The 33rd starts dropping white phosphorus in front of you, and Walker begins hallucinating about burning people rushing him.
That part was kind of intense too.
If they get to you, he snaps out of it, and you can keep playing as normal. But you can waste a lot of ammunition if you try to fight them off.
Luckily, I died so much, I figured I might as well just see what happened if they touch me, so I didn't waste any ammo.
Also, were you guys using your kill commands during this part? Like, Adams he wouldn't do, if I assigned him to kill somebody, he wouldn't do it. I don't know if that was just trying to show like them slowly deteriorating as a team, or
it might be I didn't use commands at this part, but yeah, he is not really in the mood to follow your orders at this point, at least during cutscenes.
I don't recall if I tried. I was mainly trying to snipe and take on turrets and stuff, so I don't know if I tried to use squad commands.
Yeah, this sniper rifle is invaluable at this part on higher difficulties. You make your way up to the fort, fighting off heavy resistance, and you get to a door where you encounter a heavy Lugo.
Walker is really falling apart at this point, isn't he? Hallucinating everything.
That part was a little goofy though, right? Like, is that just me thinking that?
It was odd.
Like,
It was very odd, and the proportions on Lugo is really strange because they've basically stretched his character model on top of one of those heavily armored guys.
Like, I get what they were doing, but I don't know. That part was a little just silly.
Yeah, and he keeps screaming that everything is your fault and that he wants to kill you. After you take him down, you only have a small area of enemies left to clear out before you take the fort.
By the way, he took me down and it just resets as a normal heavy after that, so on the harder difficulties you can let him kill you.
I almost forgot to mention, I don't know, you were playing on easy, Waka, so you probably didn't see this, but on the loading screens, they have like a lot of interesting like text through all this.
Yeah, I know that the loading screens get really messed up.
It says, if you were a better person, you wouldn't be here, is one of the things it said.
Yeah, there are a lot of things like that.
I noticed it's all your fault.
Yeah.
And do you feel like a hero now?
Yeah, and then it said, if Lugo were still alive, he'd likely survive from PTSD, so he's the lucky one. Or if he survived, he'd suffer from PTSD. So, yeah.
Yeah, so at this part, the loading screens get really messed up.
They're not out for happiness now.
You fight off the remaining troops inside the fort, and now the entire 33rd Battalion closes in on you and surrounds you and asks you to put down your weapons. Walker does so, but Adams, he is out for blood. He does not want to surrender after getting this far. He pushes you off the side of the fort and he goes crazy, trying to take down as many of the 33rd as he can. You do not see what happens to him, but it can't be good.
There's certainly a lot of explosions happening behind you. I'm pretty sure he didn't make it.
Yeah, he may have survived, you never know.
You never know.
Very unlikely at this point. Walker flees from the battle since he loses his firearm. there's a small cutscene where he's not feeling very well, and then he finds himself outside of the tower that you were heading for, where you suspect Conrad is. Once you get inside, the 33rd surrenders to you, telling you that the soldiers there are the only ones left in Dubai.
Which is about 9 of them, isn't it?
And you are unarmed as you walk in there. That part's a bit strange, but it's sort of explained soon after. Walker takes the elevator to Conrad. Conrad asks you if you feel like a hero yet. Once you get to the top, Conrad assures you he is as sane as you are. You find Conrad painting the aftermath of your white phosphorus bombs that you dropped on the civilians. Walker is not liking what he is seeing at all. Conrad talks to you for a bit, and then he disappears behind a painting, and you go back there to find him dead. And he's been dead for a long time.
And that's a bit of a turn up for the books.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this coming.
Not even slightly.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Conrad explains everything that's happened. You get flashbacks of all the scenes that has happened after you dropped the white phosphorus and Walker went a bit crazy. And you see what actually had been happening. Conrad was never talking to him. He was just a voice in his head.
Yeah, I was completely thrown by this. The radio you pick up was broken. It shows that there never were 2 people hanging to be chosen between. Everything you thought you did was a lie.
The funny thing is that once you know this, you can tell that Lugo and Adams have no clue what you are talking about, but it sort of looks like it when you play the game for the first time. They are questioning what you are saying, but you do not understand that it is because you're just hearing voices.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to do a second playthrough watching for that now.
Near the end, Conrad asks you to either kill Conrad or yourself, basically. And if you kill yourself, the game ends there. If you kill Conrad, the credits roll, but then you get into an epilogue where you are wandering the streets of Dubai with your weapon and wearing Conrad's
damn it
suit.
I chose to kill Walker or myself in that scenario.
If you make no choice, Conrad shoots you, but you see Walker putting the gun to his own head and pulling the trigger.
That's the only ending I haven't seen. I redid the 2 versions of the epilogue, but I left that one for the playthrough.
There are actually 3 versions of the epilogue. There's one version where you encounter the American soldiers and you put down your gun. You can also choose to fight the soldiers that are there to rescue you. And you can either die and that the game ends there, or you fight them off, kill everyone, and then you keep walking the streets of Dubai.
Okay, I didn't do the one where I killed everyone because when I started to fight I got killed instantly, but maybe try that on an easier difficulty.
Yes, it's very difficult to survive that encounter.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no achievement for doing that. I said it before in the last 2 episodes that once you get to the end, you wouldn't remain confused. Was that true?
I don't know. I feel like I need a second playthrough, honestly. Like, I get that Walker was going crazy. Like, after you said after the, what was it called?
The white phosphorus.
The fire, yeah. But, I don't know. I feel like there were some things I missed still.
I've got to say, I didn't even twig that it was only after the white phosphorus. I was wondering whether anything that had happened was real, or I wasn't entirely clear on when he'd completely gone bonkers.
Yeah, it's basically at the white phosphorus part that he breaks down mentally. Before that, he is still there, he's just making some bad judgments. There's a thing that the writer said in an interview that when the screen transitions with white, that's when Walker starts is having a hallucination, and I did not put that together when I played it. So you might have noticed that usually the screen transitions with a black screen, but sometimes it does it with a white one, and if it is a white transition, he is going to hallucinate.
I did not catch that.
No, missed that entirely. Again, something to watch next time through.
I believe we've reached the end of the line here. Is there anything else you would like to add?
This game's fucked up.
Yep, that 100%. It's a worthwhile experience, but wow.
Oh yeah.
In the same way
Yeah,
that films
I
like
definitely-
Apocalypse Now are and things, it just messes with your head.
I think I should see that movie. I haven't seen it for years.
You should. If you like this game. Oh no, you've already watched it.
I watched it, but it was so many years ago. Barely
Okay.
remember anything.
Well, actually, anyone listening, if you like this game, watch it.
When I plugged this game, I said that it's one of the best told stories of the 360 generation. There are plenty of logical holes, and the entire scenario is very unrealistic. But the way they tell the story and how they set up the ending, I find is really good.
It's definitely one of the better 360 like story games I've played like ever. Like that, I don't know. It was great.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a fantastic game. It had plenty of flaws with the shooting mechanics and how you run.
Yeah, the gameplay is kind of just
Yeah,
whatever,
meh.
but I mean it's just like it's like generic Gears of War.
But not as
But-
good.
Story wise, fantastic.
Yeah, that's its strength.
The gameplay does not live up to the story, but it's not bad.
It's not bad, but there were some like annoyances I've noticed. Like even playing on normal, like there's like on Gears of War you can like snap to cover, you know, but on this you can't do that. Like you jump out of cover and you gotta, I don't know, you gotta, like run towards it and can you?
Well, you can
Oh,
snap
okay.
to cover, but it's a
I
bit
never
wonky.
managed to do it. Every time I try to do it, I would just end up in the open and just have to run right towards it.
I think there's even an achievement for snapping into
Oh.
cover while you're being
okay.
shot
like
at.
5 times or something. Yeah, all those little mechanics were all okay, but iffy, weren't they? If you tried to get into cover,
Yeah.
you might just miss it. If you tried to vault a barrier, you might end up punching it. It just wasn't quite as smooth as it could have been, which would have made it better, and especially given they put this foobar
Yes.
difficulty on, I'm gonna really struggle with that, I imagine.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that you have to play it on the higher difficulties twice, even if I think the story is worth experiencing 2 times, since you have an entirely different perspective going through it the second time. The collectibles are
Oh, yeah.
also really good, some of them.
I got one this round that made me think different about the DJ. He was just talking about like how he wanted to be a DJ because like he wanted to create art and just reach out to people and stuff, and I don't know, it made me have a different perspective about him, even though he was just mowing us down with a helicopter not too long ago.
Everything that took place in this game was basically down
okay.
to poor communication. They had no reason to start firing at each other,
Yes.
but it just happened anyway.
And you're not even quite sure how bad he was, if Walker was hallucinating some or all of it, so got to question everything now.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a very special personality, and they did some bad calls. They were evacuating people to help them, but Delta didn't see it that way. They thought they were rounding them up for execution or something else. The achievement list, I think, is really straightforward. There's basically only 2 achievements that are difficult, and that's for completing it on is it suicide mission and the
Yes.
foobar difficulty. The rest are very easy to find, and the collectibles are few, but they are really good collectibles. Some of the stories they add to the game are really good, and I looked through some of them, and I really liked the Conrad's letter to his son, which basically read something like, "When you grow up, people will tell you of your father. For that, I'm sorry." Which I thought was a really good short message.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good collectibles, and the other thing that's a staple is kill X enemies. But I think they were nicely chosen. They were encouraged you to move your weapons around a bit, but didn't feel like you were struggling and grinding to get them.
Actually, do the executes get more brutal throughout the game?
Yeah, they do.
Is that okay?
Is there an achievement for doing the executions? Because they are totally unnecessary. You never have to do them, because once they're down, it's only there to be gruesome.
Yeah, I only did them. I did it once near the beginning, and I was like, "That's kind of messed up. I'm not gonna keep doing that." But near the end, after they killed Lugo, I may have executed a couple of people, and I noticed the animation changed. It was a lot more
They do. They get a lot more brutal.
gruesome. But yeah, there is no achievement.
Yeah, so that mechanic is only there. It doesn't have any function other
No,
than...
actually, it does have two functions. One, you can't get a weapon off a guy who's down but not dead, so you need to kill them if you want to steal their weapon. And the other one is if you melee them down, they will get back up unless you execute them.
Okay. I didn't realize that this time.
Well, being on easy, you wouldn't have been struggling for ammo and the like, I imagine.
No, and if I shot them in the foot, they usually went down, so they would probably go down in one hit if I punched them as well. Yeah, there's a lot written about this game, especially after the release, and some of it is really good, and I recommend checking it out. Do you have anything else that we haven't discussed yet?
No, only that this last couple of fights, as we've kind of intimated on the way through, were even more tricky, and thought it'd been pretty hard before then, so Fubar is really not going to be a fun one. I have started since I finished it off, started going through, and it's not as bad now you've learnt the mechanics of it, but I'm dying a lot already, and I'm on the really easy levels.
I think if you take a step back and come back a few months later, you're going to find it even more difficult, so you should probably get it done now
Choices.
when you know the mechanics.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually try on hard this time. I'm gonna do 3 playthroughs now though, so I don't know about that. It is a good game though, so maybe it's worth it.
You can try it on Fubar and turn it down to hard if you don't like it.
No, I didn't. You gotta finish on hard to get Fubar, right?
Yes, which is unfortunate.
Okay, yeah. So I gotta do on 3 playthroughs if I want to do that.
Yeah, the rest of the achievements are really easy to mop up, and you have a chapter select to do so.
Yeah, I've got nothing left really apart from finding the collectibles and making the alternate choices to what I made on the first playthrough, so that'll all be straightforward. Just surviving won't.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, Walker, about like needing a second playthrough. Because I mean, one, you understand more. 2, it's gonna be cool to like just do like the little choices throughout the story just to see it differently.
To be honest, these choices do not make much of a difference, but I think it's good that they are there.
It's more like highlighting which are significant choices, aren't they? Not really that they have story impact, just what kind of person you're being.
Yeah, and I did not realize that I could even scare the angry mob. I just shot straight into the crowd.
Well, even that part just made, like, even if there isn't like a big difference, that does make you feel like a type of way after you did that, right? Like, if you shoot through everybody, like, you're gonna feel guilty afterwards. You're just gonna be like, oh man. So I think there's a point to all of it.
Yeah, you go in trying to be a hero, it doesn't really work out for you. Well, thanks again for joining me. I really enjoyed this game, and it has been fun discussing it in the game club.
Yeah, it's been a real experience. Thanks for having us along.
Yes, thank you.
There is nothing planned for a next game. I've heard some people are
I saw that.
asking us to play North.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're really recommending thinking more forcing people to play at gunpoint.
I can tell you that I've played North, and there are some interesting things to discuss around it, but not exactly from the game. It's more tangentially related. I don't want to do this. I don't think that's going to happen.
Sure, let's do it. One episode, right?
Yeah, it would be one episode because the game doesn't have a save functionality. You have to play it in one sitting.
Well, let's do it.
Give it a week or two and we will see if that happens.
We'll call that a maybe.
Maybe. Well, thanks again for joining me, Benel72.
Thank you.
And Dinobull.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a nice day, everyone.
You know, Captain, we drove through this whole city to find you. We saw things. You don't mind me asking, what was it like? How'd you survive all this?
Who said I did?